Hello everybody, welcome to the batting practice show, coming to you live from Bender Pictures' apartment at 6 in the morning. I am out of my mind, I'm never up at 6 in the morning, but I've got a lot of spare time on my hands right now, and I'm like, I've been putting this episode off for a week, so I guess I'll record at 6 in the morning. So if I'm not making any sense, that's why, because I'm probably still half asleep, but let's see if I can try and pull this off anyway. Okay, let me grab my script, here we go. So rather than waste your time on this less than interesting pomp and promotional crap for my contest, let's get right into this episode, shall we? Alright, I'm not going to hold back, so here we are, ready to go. Here it comes, the big question, brace yourselves. What makes a YouTube pooper successful? You've got super talented guys with no exposure whatsoever, famous but maybe in your opinion dreadfully overrated guys with thousands more subs than you think they deserve. But are they successful, and who's successful? Does having influence and popularity translate into success? To find out, we need to define exactly what success in YouTube poop is. Is it views, subs, good ratings, comments, never quitting, all those things, none of those things, something else? The problem we run into right here is we don't have a clear definition of what success in YouTube poop is. We'll get to that later, but first, let me show you something by CS188. This chart does a great job of explaining the popularity, which is not the same thing as success to me at least, and style of many well-known poopers. Now, this encouraged me to create something called the hierarchy of YouTube poop. Wait, before you run away screaming that I'm trying to put people on pedestals again, please hear me out. Before I begin, I need to clarify that I do not believe poopers in the higher categories of this are superior to the ones down lower. Some of them may be, but not all of them are. And I don't believe in this type of attitude, but I'm writing this to help me prove a point later in the video, okay? So I don't believe what I'm about to say, but I'm going to use it to prove a point later. Is that out of the way? Okay, this is not a success-o-meter, it's more of a popularity-o-meter. People in the higher categories have more influence and sway over those below them than the people down lower. And this is flawed in so many ways, and there are so many exceptions to what I'm about to say, just bear with me, okay? Like I said, I'm going to use it to prove a point later, and attempt to disprove a common belief. Okay, here we go, the hierarchy of YouTube poop. Number one in my hierarchy of YouTube poop are the exposed new age poopers. We're talking about guys with the same popularity as Hurricoaster, CS188, Dinner Warrior, Quibi Jibby. Waxinator would have been considered part of this category, or Waxination now, but he's not quite as popular as he used to be, so I'll leave that one up to you. And they'll probably decline in time just like the new age superstars, but for now their stars burn bright. They get more exposure than anyone else in their time period, and most of them are still at their peaks or reaching their peaks. They wield great power and influence over many people you and me associate with on YouTube regularly, maybe even over you and me ourselves. They didn't get the views that the old age guys did, some of them are getting pretty close, but as they continue to climb they may someday. Some of these guys keep to themselves, and some work to expose and help others below them, like Hurricoaster. I would consider Commander Wanham to be straddling the line between old age superstar and new age pooper, because he's been around a while and has perhaps the greatest influence on effects poopers today, yet I don't consider him to be a full-blood old age guy just because he's a bit newer than Walrus Guy and Crobo and those blokes. But his activity level has dropped off quite a bit. Anyway, back to the point. Exposed new age poopers may begin to shut themselves away from mainstream YouTube poop, but not all of them do or will. Some stay surprisingly in touch with their fans despite their mass appeal and the high expectations under which they operate. They've proven themselves, so people expect nothing but the best from them. Number 2 in my hierarchy of YouTube poop, superstar old age poopers. They may mainly appeal to the spit-dinner fags these days, or the fanboys of yesterday, but they may have been our own favorite poopers of yesterday. Most of these guys, such as Deeper Cut, Crobo, Swish Films, and Walrus Guy, are either gone now, retired, terminated, or just damn inactive. They have more fans and fanboys than anyone else. I don't care what you say, a lot of them still have more fans than anybody else. They wield the most power over typical poopers and poop fans. Maybe not you and me, but we're not talking about you and me. We're talking about the average Joes of YouTube poop here. Their fans are either new, or they've been around the block, and they don't search for new poopers very much. But their fans still make up the greatest portion of the pooping community, albeit an uninformed and possibly ignorant majority. Number 3, up-and-coming New Age poopers. These are the guys you generally see in the 1 to 2,000 sub range. Most of them use the newest techniques and stray from the ways of their older counterparts. They're not what I would consider famous, however, but they have the greatest potential to be the next generation of well-known poopers. They're not quite at their peaks yet, or they're currently at it, and most of them joined or became active somewhere in 2009 or 2010. They typically have channel boxes chock full of allies and supporters who support them in return. They leave nice comment on each other's videos, comment frequently, and are often slightly less popular in terms of subs and views. They're generally around the same age as when they began pooping, but they might be of a slightly lower skill set and lesser popularity. I'm talking about their followers, not actually them. Up-and-coming New Age poopers post videos fairly often are some of the most involved people in the YouTube poop community. This includes people like HotelLuigi, BarneyIsPerverted, CJ Flow, and many, many, many others. Number 4, middle-tier poopers. They have plenty of people in their boxes, and many of them communicate regularly with the up-and-coming poopers. They are the middle class of YouTube poop, and I mean that in a good way. They have escaped the dungeons of noobish and meme styles, and as a result have seen a steady rise in their subscribers and views. Most of these people have between 3 and 900 subs, 300 and 900, although people with as few as 100 can fit all the other characteristics of this category as well. Almost all my best friends and the people I talk to on YouTube fall under this category, probably because I do as well. I realize my poops aren't the greatest, but they're okay at least, you have to give me that. They're definitely above the meme and spit inner stuff. I know I do get a lot of sub from the BP show, and that's why I'm certain I fit under this category, not the up-and-coming YouTube poopers, even though I might have the subscribers to belong to that category. I'm talking strictly YouTube poop here, so my BP show doesn't count towards this thing. So I'm a middle-tier pooper, not an up-and-coming New Age pooper. Anyway, middle-tier poopers often have connections with a few big-name guys or up-and-coming poopers, but most of them support themselves with help from their channel boxes. Some are fiercely loyal, others fickle, but they all work together for a positive impact, and they all grow because of it. They may be of all different time periods of skill sets, but they don't mind. Number 5. Old meme guys. Old meme guys may have had some popularity with the noobs, they probably get a lot of views, but in the end, they always lose. Nice rhyme, huh? I think they get views and a lot of subs from the casual YouTube passerby who thinks What the Fuck Blue is the best thing since flavored condoms, but they generally can't attract any true fans or even fanboys, because they're not as popular as the old age guys who are much more talented anyway. They don't have any close allies. They tend to be very uninvolved in the YouTube poop community. They may not even know something like YouTube even exists. Number 6, talented brand new poopers. They're still learning and far from their peaks, but they have the tools to be great. There are more of them than you'll ever know, and too many small names for me to mention. Often they need a Hurricoaster or a JoeTheBlueDragon to expose them, so to speak, and bearing some miraculous view spike, will fade into obscurity, unfortunately. Some of them will escape and gradually become middle-tier poopers with advanced skills, and then they may even progress into the up-and-coming New Age pooper stage. But unless they get connections with the middle-tier poopers or discovered by the higher-ups, they'll be spinning their wheels in the mud. They only rank below the old meme guys because they have much less exposure. These poopers usually have between 10 and 200 subs, but they have a great arsenal of YouTube poop weaponry, so to speak. For those of you getting sick of my vocabulary, it means they're good poopers. Numero 7. We already did old meme guys. New meme guys! They haven't got a clue. Maybe someone will come along and help them out, but the era that the old meme guys thrived on has faded and gone, which is why these guys will never succeed unless they find better poopers to watch, which many meme and spit inner fags refuse to do. They have much less hope than the talented brand new poopers, and they represent, in my mind, the lowest class of YouTube poopers, as long as I'm classifying people in a hierarchy. So, where am I going with this frickin' hierarchy? I'm using it to bring up one crucial point. We judge poopers so often based only on their subscriber level. Got a guy like me who's got almost 1,000 subs and maybe only slightly good YouTube poops to show for it? He's overrated. Got a guy like Commander Guanum type talent, but only 400 subscribers? Well, he's underrated. Did you count the number of times the word subscribers and its different forms were used in that list? Subscribers are definitely the currency of YouTube poop. Some people see it as the more you've got, the richer you are. Those people who clicked your yellow button are saying they like what you've got and they want to see more. Makes plenty of sense. So if you have 150 subs, your best friend has 120, that's 30 more people who like your videos. You're more successful than him. Right? Not quite. Subscriber counts are flawed. You might have more subs than anyone else you talk to on YouTube, but then someone points out that besides having 1,500 subs, you also have 900,000 video views, while someone else might have 550 subscribers from only 25,000 video views. If you're going to insist that subscribers count, try out what I call the views per subber technique. Mine is 601. That means for every 600 or so views my combined videos get, someone subscribes to me. All you do is divide your number of views by the number of subscribers you have. Now mine is not a purebred poop channel, which is why this is flawed even further. In addition to making YouTube poops, I do the BP show, poop stand-up contest, lyrics videos, voice acting demos, video game clips, animation, and more stuff. So mine is obviously skewed, since it wouldn't be outrageous to say that I don't get most of my subscribers because of my YouTube poops. Most of my views come from things that don't generally give you many subs per view anyway. For instance, I have a Rod Stewart lyrics video with over 100,000 views. When was the last time you subbed to someone because they posted lyrics to one song that you like? Also, my most viewed video is Die or Else You Will Die with way over 100,000 views, and it consists of 12 seconds of Ganon saying, "Die, or else you will die." Come on. I have an old spinner poop of mine I've been meaning to take down too. SpongeBob cuts off his own hand by mistake, with around 70,000 views. It sucks ass, and I made it 2 years ago. All of those things screw my views per subber number over tenfold. So, should we start viewing poopers by their actual talent, seeing them at face value? Or should we continue to measure success based on subscribers only? If you hadn't noticed the first time I pointed out, I'll point it out again. Count how many times the word subscriber came up in my popularity-o-meter or my success-o-meter, because, like thousands of others, I have been brainwashed to think subscribers equal success. So now that we've established that subscribers are a completely irrelevant way to measure one's success, how do we do so? To find out, I've turned to other poopers to tell me how they see it.
Hey guys, this is LightningLuigi, and I don't really know what more I can say on this subject, but getting subscribers and, being popular, it really isn't that big of a deal. I mean, I certainly don't think it's that big a deal. I have like 500 subscribers now, and I don't really care if I lost my account tomorrow and had to start over again. Nothing would change. I still make the same videos, because, I like them. I like making the videos. And that's the only real reason I do it. Well, the only real reason I do it now. My opinions have changed over time. But, when you've been in this long as I have, your way of thinking starts to change, and you just realize that the only reason you do this is for the hell of it. And that's the only reason I do it, and that's why I think pretty much everyone should. I mean, I guess I can't expect everyone to think the same way, but, that's just my point of view. So, my advice to all the new guys out there who, see all the popular guys and want to be like them, just don't worry about it. Just go out there, make a good video, a video you like to make, and, just go from there. And that's all I really gotta say.
I think that there are two things that make a YouTube pooper successful. The first one is that you have to have fun while making your videos. If the time you spend making them isn't worth the fun you get out of it, then that's not really worth anything. The second one is a bit more complicated. You can't be concerned by any number. You can't care about how many subscribers, views, ratings, or anything else you have. You have to be able to look at that number of your subscribers and say, That means absolutely nothing to me. You shouldn't go out and make it your goal just to get subscribers. And you shouldn't go out of your way to alienate your fans. You should be happy that you have people to enjoy your work, but not obsessed with trying to get more to do the same. Once you can truly say that you do those two things, then you are successful.
I also do have an actual interview as well. Please welcome BarneyIsPerverted. Hi, BIP. Okay, let's get right to the questions. You've risen about as fast as anyone in the world of YouTube poop and you're not slowing down. How do other people react to that?
Well, I think that everybody else is equally as surprised as I am. I mean, I never would have imagined that I'd be getting so many subscribers in such a short amount of time. And from what I've seen, it seems like people are happy that another person has started making videos that they like, so overall, my whole experience with this has been really good.
Just be honest. Do you feel compelled to feature lesser-known and unexposed poopers because that's how you got your start?
Well, yeah, that is part of it. If it weren't for Hurricoaster and a few other popular users featuring my first video, then I might have still gotten a fair amount of attention, but most likely not nearly as much as I'm getting now. But I do also think that even if I had been discovered by accident, then I would still want to take advantage of my popularity and feature other people's videos. If somebody puts a lot of effort into a video, then I think that they deserve recognition for it, and I'm more than willing to help them with that.
There's a bit of a negative rap that goes along with being a SpongeBob pooper. Does it bother you?
To be honest, it doesn't really bother me at all. A few reasons. A, nobody really bashes me for using SpongeBob. I mean, even JoeTheBlueDragon doesn't have a problem with it because he believes that my skill makes up for my crappy source. B, I don't think that it's fair to judge somebody based on the source that they use anyway, so even if people were bothering me about it, I probably still wouldn't care. And C, I honestly don't understand why people would think that SpongeBob is a bad source in the first place. I think that, for the most part, people liked the show when it was actually good, so content-wise it isn't bad. But some people say that the reason why they don't like it as a YouTube poop source is because it's cheating. They think that SpongeBob poops are a 100% guaranteed way to get tons of views, likes, and subscribers, but I disagree with that. I think that that used to be the case, but definitely not anymore. Nowadays, when somebody uploads a Spadinner crap SpongeBob YouTube poop, it's going to get almost no views, and anybody who does see it is probably going to dislike it and or leave a bad comment. Now, that's not something that I do, even if I hate a video, but the point is that I think we've reached a point in YouTube poop where people are judged on their skill more than anything else, and so there aren't exactly any sources that could be considered cheating.
So, do you consider yourself a successful pooper?
Well, I don't want to be bragging or anything, but I think that it would be hard to say that I'm not. I mean, I've already gotten almost 2,000 subscribers, and everybody seems to think that I'm great at what I do, so honestly, yeah, I think so.
What do you think are the biggest things to being successful in YTP?
I think that the way to be successful is to put a lot of effort into your videos. The kind of stuff that people like to see in a YouTube poop is not something that can be done in 5 minutes. Making a good YouTube poop is more about patience than anything else. If you have some video editing skills and a decent imagination, all you need to do is to be willing to spend a considerable amount of time in making something really good.
How does one best measure success in your eyes? Is it subscribers, video ratings, comments, or something different?
I think that success includes all of those, and also the effort and quality of the videos that the YouTube pooper produces. If any one of those is missing, then it really is hard to call that person successful. If somebody puts a lot of effort into making awesome videos, but they don't get any views or subscribers, then I would say that that person should be successful, but unfortunately they aren't. On the other hand, if you've got somebody like Luigi Alga, or however you pronounce that name, who has 8,000 subscribers, tons of views, and way more likes than dislikes, I don't consider her to be successful because her videos are Spadinner crap. The only reason why she has any fans was because she was lucky enough to start uploading those videos before people realized that that stuff wasn't funny. So, I think that success is something that has to be complete in all areas, or else it just doesn't work.
When you think of people who are successful, what are some names that come to mind?
Oh god, where do I start? Okay, let's see here. Hurricoaster, Santa with Guns, CS188, I'm a Person, Sport.cam, Durham Rocker Z, Deeper Cut, Hotel Ouija, Commander Guodum, Jake Steele 0121, Mark 3611, Crobo Productions, etc., etc., etc. I really could go on forever, and those are just the people who have all the traits of success. There are plenty of other users who are on their way to being successful, but right now they're not getting enough attention in order for it to be official. And I would have to say that you're starting to be successful too, especially with nearly 1,000 subscribers in this new show, which so far seems to be pretty popular.
Do you think getting a lot of publicity helps with being successful, or is that something that not really goes into it that much?
Well, I think that it depends on the person. For some people, it might encourage them to keep producing awesome videos because they feel like a lot of people are expecting great things from them. But I think that other people might just get lazy and start thinking that they don't need to put in any more effort since they've already got the fame, and so they just start making crappier videos because they know that they're going to get views regardless. But I think that most people are pretty good about keeping up the efforts, so I would have to say that publicity does help in general.
What advice do you have to give to other YouTube poopers?
There are a few important bits of advice that I think are worth mentioning. The first one is put lots of effort into your videos. I know I've already said that, but it really is the most important one. It used to be that you didn't have to put much work into a YouTube poop video at all if you wanted to be successful, but today that's not the case. If you're not willing to sit down at the computer for a long time and really focus on making the video as good as possible, it's not going to end well. The few views that you get will be from people who hate it, and at that point, you would have been better off not making a video at all. Another thing is to not be limited by what you think are the boundaries of your editing skills. If you're thinking, oh man, I really want to put this effect here, but I don't know how to do it, then in that case, you should figure it out instead of just going without it. I like to experiment with something new in pretty much all of my videos, and it's because I figure out new techniques all the time. You won't get better unless you let it happen. And the last bit of advice I have to give is that you should only expect other people to find your video funny if you find it funny. That's the biggest rule of comedy in general, and I think it makes sense. You can't expect everyone else to laugh at your jokes if you think they're not funny. But if you follow all those rules, I think the chance of success is very high.
Thanks for being on the show.
My pleasure, BP. It was great being on your show.
After all we've heard here, I'm going to say something radical. Subscribers do not matter at all whatsoever. That may have shook the world to some of you, and I'm sure plenty of you have already come to this conclusion. Subscribers, they're just kind of irrelevant when you really think about everything. Sometimes we all need to look beyond that yellow button. You know what this all says to me? The fact that I was even inspired to make this video says that we're way too engrossed in these things sometimes. I made this because I thought the subscriber virus had affected far too many YouTube poopers, to the point that they were only power hungry and addicted to it. But it made me discover that I suffered from a similar condition. After hearing it from other poopers, the subscriber virus doesn't worry as much as it did, because these people don't see it that way. Each person has their own view on what success is, so I guess we'll never be able to put a dictionary type definition or label on it. But that's okay. YouTube poop is something we should do for fun and not take seriously. And for those of you still fuming over the 7 deadly sins of YouTube poop, I wasn't even completely serious about it. Go read my thing on YouTube. So lower those shoulders and just relax a little bit. I hope I shot you guys down before "you're a hypocrite because you take this too seriously" popped up in all the comments. We all need to take YouTube poop much less seriously, and I'm already on my way to succeeding in that. I'm going to take a break from YouTube in these coming weeks. I'll still log on every couple days, Poop Standoff will run as scheduled, but I'm going to be doing better things. You know what those things are? I'm going to do the unheard of in our generation. I'm going to break free from the technological chains put on me by today's modern society. I'm going to go to baseball games. I'm going to throw frisbees in open green fields. I'm going to play catch with my cousin. I'm going to read books. Play Monopoly instead of Madden. I'm going to go play tennis. Real tennis. I'm going to put down my DS and shut down my laptop every now and then and just enjoy spring the way people may have enjoyed it in the past. I'm going to spend more time with my friends playing soccer instead of Smash Bros. I'm going to write some poems, maybe creative stories. Hell, I'm going to drink tea and contemplate the meaning of the universe. Well, not really that last part. Well, actually, seeing how this episode is going, that may not be too far off. See you guys around. And here's the real hierarchy of YouTube poop for you diehards who are still watching. Number 1, Bender Pictures. 2, The BP Show. 3, All BP's Fans. 4, Everyone Else. 5, Spidinner Fags. 6, Fanboy. 7, Stuart K. Riley. Wasn't that rewarding? I'm sure you're so glad you watched till the end to hear that. Everyone else is so fooled.